All right, and all right again. What's up? Welcome back. It's your host of the Oddly Even podcast, JonMon, and a list of other names. Let me just grab one. One name I like to say J Champ. I like J Champ. J Champ is a name I gathered when I was in college. If you remember the first episode, I think I said that. But J Champ is a name I got when I was in college. After we won NAIA Outdoor Nationals as a track team, I think. I think that's what it was called. I don't know. But, they gave us like this big ring. Man, it was the ring. I wish I had my ring. Somebody stole my ring. But the ring had an orange letter in the middle with diamonds around it. With the year and all this. I think it said my name. It might have said my name. Somebody out there got that ring. And I don't know if they thought it was like an NBA championship ring or NCAA Final Four championship ring or whatever ring. But no, it's just my ring for running track. And I hope that whatever you're doing with it is something productive. Just don't make a lie up about it. All right. All right, so yeah, we back with Oddly Even podcast, man. We at episode 7. Episode 7, man. We just counterbalancing the normalcy, and we just talking. At the end of the day, we're just talking. We're not getting into a lot of politics stuff like that. We don't go watch someone say something and then repost it with our commentation. Nah, that's not what we're doing. It's just conversation. Right now, this is just this. We're still kind of in the getting to know you phase, where you're getting to know me, and then as people like and subscribe or whatever, I'm getting to know them, as well as my audience base. This is something that I've been trying to do for a long period of time, and I appreciate the opportunities that life has put in my life to push me or nudge me forward to do these things. Let's see. We're going to talk about passion today. Today's going to be short. And every time I'm by myself, which is almost all the time, I've only had one interview so far, but my interviews are coming. I'm going to drop my interviews. And let me just say that I appreciate those of you who were waiting, even though it might have been 2 people who was waiting for the Wednesday episode to drop. They dropped very, very late that Wednesday. I was trying to do some things that I haven't done before with the YouTube and with the presentation of the video being a premiere. I was trying to get it fancy to where it just pops up as, a premiere countdown but I'm not at that level yet. And that's okay. I don't have to be shy to say that. I'm not of the level to be trying to premiere a podcast. So it was a bunch of stuff that was happening behind the scenes. In episode 6, I had to resubmit and submit it at a lower video quality. It was at 480. All right. And one of my friends did notice. He did notice. And and I like friends. I appreciate friends that have no problem telling it like it is. That's going to be a discussion that we're going to talk about today. That has no problem telling it like it is. Even if they're still trying to be nice about it and they tiptoe around it, but their friendship is strong enough for them to at least be able to feel like they can say something that's real to you. But yeah, so I appreciate those of you who waited, and then those of you who still watched it. All right, episode 7, we're talking about passion and when friends just keep it real. Like I want to talk about the friends keep it real part, because that's the first thing that's more so heavy on my mind. I promise I'm gonna try to keep this short. Last episode 6 was like 54 minutes, almost an hour. So I'm gonna try to keep these short because, like I said, the magic is in the interviews. That's when you really get the understanding of everything that you can get from this podcast. But right now we're still in the building and the get to know me stage. So those days will come. But anyway, friends that tell it like it is, So there are a lot of people. I hate to say a lot of people because it's become like a joke or a cliche. But you usually always hear someone as a male, like, what would you do if your wife came and asked you, baby, how do I look in this dress? Or baby, does this make me look fat? And or hey, is this a good color on me? And the danger teeter-tottering thing about that situation is, if you be real with her, can she accept the truth and allow it to be the truth and just move on? Or if you just lie about it, to save whatever you're trying to save, or to alleviate a argument coming up or whatever, is that right as well? You usually hear situations like that, scenarios for people who are married or who are dating somebody. But friends should be the first person to be real with you, regardless of anything. I don't care if it's a smell. I don't care if it's a look. I don't care if it's a dating situation, addiction, money, abuse, potential. Like, your friend should be that one that's like, hey, no, mm-mm. Like, just imagine your dating record if you had a real friend that came out, and it didn't seem like they was hating or nothing like that, but just came and told you, no, not that one. You probably had, I'm not going to say that. You'll be a different person. You'll be a different person if you just had somebody to be real with you. All right. Or maybe you were out and you don't understand the heat and perspiration of your body, and you don't know you smell. Excuse me. And your friends are just hanging with you, but to them they smell you, but they ain't saying they smell you. Like, what type of friend is that? You should have someone that's known for keeping it real with you, and not just somebody that's just gonna agree and push forward and move Jack trying to get in the shot. That's gonna agree and say things just for the sake of trying to be nice and tiptoeing. No, be honest. Be honest. If I stink, I stink. I might have forgot to put deodorant on, or maybe the deodorant I got on is a little bit too weak. If you smell me, say you smell me. If I got a booger, which is common for everybody, I'm not just gonna say myself, but if I got a booger hanging on my nose hair, don't just let me go around talking to people and being in people's face and trying to be funny, jokey, ha, and in the whole background you looking like, man, that boy got a booger in his nose. And he don't even feel it. Because sometimes you don't feel it. You don't feel the booger sometimes. And that's what the hair is supposed to be doing. The hair is in your nose to help you feel foreign object, or to help like block and cause like a filter for things going in your nose. So the hair something should alert you, like there's something tingling in your nose. Or sometimes you feel that tingling and you wipe it a little bit. And then when you wipe it, it's like it gets loose and it hangs down. Like that's bad. That's bad. Just tell them you got a booger in your nose. I'm just saying, be an honest person also. So if you want to have an honest friend, you also gotta be able to take the truth, and you gotta be able to give the truth too, because you should be an honest person yourself. All right. If you know your friend just is doing something that ain't right, it ain't nothing wrong with just being like, look, man, I love you and everything. We cool, but what you doing ain't right. You know what I'm saying? What you doing ain't right. It's a lot of dudes who, and I hate to say a lot as if I know statistics like that, but I'm pretty sure there's some dudes who have a homeboy who they know or may have witnessed hit their girl before, or physically struck their wife or whatever, and ain't said nothing to them. And I'm sure that there's some women out there that know another woman that's cheating on her man or got like a sugar daddy or something on the side, and they really just told her like, nah, that ain't right. That ain't right. You shouldn't do that. All right, we gotta have some truthness around this. You can't be living your whole life around lies and false information. You gotta have some truth around you. Don't people that hang around you and lie, they ain't gonna help you in no way. And false information ain't gonna make you no better.
You know what I'm saying? It's always somebody that says, hold on. Hey, do you know how to do anything? Do you know how to do something that you want other people to know that you know how to do? Let me know. I can tell people. Like right here is when I want to start putting in like advertisements or whatever. Look, I won't charge you and you don't pay me. You know what I'm saying? It's just street networking, basically word of mouth. I'm trying to be the mouth of your word. So if you know how to do, I know somebody that know how to just cut hot water on. All right, she know how to just cut her hot water. So that's somebody I know. You might just one day need hot water cut on. I know somebody that can shave pit bulls. No other dog. He can shave pit bulls, and he do it with a scissor. He do it with scissors and a needle and thread. I don't know what he's doing, but he can shave pit bulls. It don't even look like they lost any hair. You know. So if you know how to do something and you want other people to know you know how to do it, let me know. All right. I'm trying to help. All right.
You're gonna need someone to give you the truth at times. Tell you, man, you know what, you've been slacking. You know, you said you was gonna do this and do that and you ain't. And that's what my circle has done for me with this podcast. That's why I gotta put it out. And it ain't and I don't want to say that's why I gotta put it out as if they're the driving force and factor of it, but they were the ones that were saying, man, I thought you was gonna do a podcast. You said you was doing it for real this time. Like you said, and that's why you started saying like in the very beginning, podcast coming soon. Because I was trying to build it. I was trying to have it perfect before I started it, you know, and it came to a point where it's just like, nah, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to see it and go after it, and then just as you are going, you know, you build it and put it together. It's like the pyramid in Egypt. Them blocks wasn't all right there at one time, you know. It was one block at a time, one block at a time, one block at a time. And I'm pretty sure they seen the block and was like, oh, that block too big. Go back and chisel it down. They chisel it down and put it back up to fit. Like it took time to do all that. I'm pretty sure. Yes. So my circle kept me accountable to me saying I was going to do this podcast. So, and they were truthful to it, you know. Where your link at? You know, I ain't seen your link, and it's Wednesday. You know, so you gotta have people in your life that's gonna be truthful, and sometimes the truth hurt. But you know what? I've noticed that words, the power that's given to words doesn't come from the person that's speaking it. It comes from the person that's receiving it. That's how the word gets power. Otherwise, somebody is a warlock or a witch or a sorcerer. If someone can say something to you and the power of them saying it make you do something, then that's like what I'm talking about. That's like giving them the power. But no, if somebody says something to you, you have the power to determine whether or not you're going to do just that. It ain't automatic. Somebody could be like, hey, don't cross that street. And you see a red light, you don't see no cars coming, and you heard them say don't cross the street, but then you think like, why wouldn't I cross the street? It's perfect time to cross the street, and you cross the street. You know, just because they told you not to do it, don't mean you couldn't do it. You gave the power of what they were saying. Or if they said, hey, don't cross that street, and you didn't cross the street, for whatever reason, you say, okay, well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm into weird stuff, and I think this is a sign. And it said don't cross the street, so I ain't going to cross the street. All right? Words do have power, but we control the power. So, that took me a minute to learn because I used to be a part of the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me community, age gap, or whatever that situation is. We used to say that sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And then at some point, people started saying, no, words do hurt. No, words are very hurtful. in a sense, I understand it, but in the ultimate long view and long run of the situation, words don't hurt. You gotta let it hurt you. This is why I say to my students all the time. So, like, okay, so the kids will be lined up, right? And then somebody will say something like, you stupid. And then they get to arguing in line. And I said, what's going on? He called me stupid. I said, are you stupid? No. Then why would you say something? And they be looking like, huh? I said, what's your name? And they'd be like, Larry. And I said, if I say Michael, 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 are you going to turn around? No. I said, why you not going to turn around? Because that's not my name. So I said, well, if you know you're not stupid, why even like give that power? Why even do that? You know what I'm saying? We have the power to give power to those things. It's ourselves. That's what this whole free will is about. You know what I'm saying? That's what our brain is about. That's why we are not into the roboticness of how everything works. You are able to have a free mind. You know, that's what half the slaves wanted anyway. They wanted to be free. They wanted to, and not just physically free, but they also want to have a free mind. You know, it's just like in the relationship. If you break up with somebody in a relationship, then y'all broke up. Don't break up with somebody and then that person still coming over and dropping stuff off, or coming over and asking you if you want something to eat, and trying to be like calling you on the phone, trying to say, hey, you know, my car and stuff. It's like, no, we broke up. You can't keep doing that. That's like we're still together. So be mentally free as well. So I'm talking about words don't hurt. All right, and that's like resetting the way you understand things. Because I don't know, I don't know if it's like all the 40-year-olds or whatever. Because I'm 41. But there was a period of time where we used to say that in school, like sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We used to I'm rubber, you glue, whatever you say, bounce off me and stick back to you. Like we didn't used to give words power like that. But then at some point, I don't know when it was, but somebody was just like, forget that. Words hurt. You know, they hurt. And I don't want to hear nothing about words not hurting. And then they took that aspect and made that just be like the concept, the mindset. Like, no, you should know words hurt. And it's like, no one is saying people can't say hurtful things. There's a difference between someone saying hurtful things and words hurting you. Somebody can say something hurtful to you all day long, but the words don't hurt you. You give it the power to hurt you by letting it hurt you. All right. You know, that's I don't know if that's deep or not. You know, that's what Oddly Even podcast is about. You know, when it's just me, we just talk. You know, this is a counterbalance to the norm. You know, I hope you learning something. And then, like I said, I'm gonna keep this short. So far, I'm doing good, right? I'm doing good. I'm gonna keep this short. All right. The next thing we're gonna talk about is passion. I think I gotta wipe my nose, but I don't want to. I'm dealing with a sinus issue, so please forgive me. So we're talking about passion as it relates to the way something makes you feel to do something about, right? Because let me tell you something. I'm not a fighter. I am not, and let me explain what I mean by I'm not a fighter. I don't like fighting. I don't like arguing. I don't like getting into a physical fight. I don't like having mental battles, like people trying to be like petty and funny. Like I don't like stuff like that because for one, I don't know if I have a way to determine what's acceptable or not in a fight. Because this is a reason why I also don't like fighting, because fighting has no rules, right? Boxing has rules. I'll box somebody all day. If we want to box, we can box, because boxing has rules. Boxing is, you can't hit here behind the head. Boxing, depending on how you're boxing, Boxing is you can't kick and you can't headlock and you can't you it has to have gloves and gloves got to be like boxing has rules. Fighting does not have rules, and that's my understanding. I've seen people. And another reason why I don't like fighting because to simply be honest, I don't want to get knocked out. I do not want, man. I do not want to get knocked out, and I'm too old, and I got two boys, and I don't feel like getting knocked out. I don't want to have that story of getting knocked out. I've seen people get knocked out fighting, and like I said, fighting has no rules. So what comes after you get knocked out? Fighting in the street, stomping. So I don't like fighting because that and I got a little gift of humorous gab, and I mostly get in a situation and get out of a situation just by talking and things like that. But I don't like fighting. I promise you, I don't like fighting. I've been out of my 41 years of living, I have been in the midst of maybe 10 opportunities where I could have fought somebody, or where I was about to fight somebody, or we were fighting somebody, but I just never got a chance to swing or hit anybody, you know. And it's just weird. I remember Madison. Our senior class trip was going to Six Flags. That's the budget the DISD gave to James Madison High School. I remember I was hearing kids. No. Let me correct that. Because we went to Disney World in Florida because they did a drug bust right next to the. We were staying in a hotel where they did a drug bust. But anyhow, that was a senior class trip. We went to Six Flags, and it was some Fort Worth, Dalworth, something like that school there, and people who understand Madison or Dallas understand the reputation that Madison has just by itself being in South Dallas, and with the different neighborhood community groups and quote unquote gangs that melting pot goes into. We have a cast of people, you know, you'll see a basketball game where two people don't really like each other got to wear that Madison jersey and it's cool. But as soon as that Madison jersey come off, it's this set versus that set. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a situation like that. It's not as bad as how some California stuff is, but you feel me.
If you're looking for healthcare, free healthcare, you can always hit us up at www.right, WRIGHT, care, CARE, benefits, BENEFITS.com. It's a spot on that page where you can inquire about free healthcare if you need retirement or if you need any life insurance. We insure anybody, so pre-existing conditions, it doesn't matter. You can be HIV positive, you can have cancer, you can have any type of illness, and we will insure you. There's no underwriting, so no pre-existing conditions.
Okay. All right, guys, you heard.
So, I don't know much about Fort Worth, and I don't know the reputation of Dalworth back in 2001, but I think the situation, if I can remember, the situation started by somebody cutting one of our classmates in one of the lines and was just talking crazy. Now, this is the thing. When we got to Six Flags, we all went like that. Like, it was, because like I said, you got people who don't really like each other based on the sets and neighborhoods with each other. But when we got to Six Flags, we went that way. Like, people went there, people went there, people went there, people went there, and they went and kind of did their own thing. nobody was really watching us. It was just like one of those, like, hey, over there by the picnic benches, let everybody be back at 1 or you ain't gonna be able to eat. And then the bus is leaving at 2:30. So everybody kind of went their way. Well, this particular group that was over there was getting into it with the Doward people because they cutted them. And the Doward school was together. Like they were an actual school. They were walking together. They had a few people that was kind of off, but they were walking together. So there's a lot of people at Madison that don't have that same mentality of don't fight. They fight. The fight or flight. I learned that the hard way in South Dallas. This is the reason why I don't like fighting. In South Dallas, I saw so many fights. But anyway, they started fighting. And it was one of those, it was like a dude and this girl. I ain't got to say nobody's name. It was a dude and this girl from Madison and like one more dude from Madison fighting like dang near in between 30 to 40 people was around that area. So, and I wish I could embellish. They all wasn't at the same time, but they was over there and they were getting jumped. So as he's walking through the park, you know, Madison people started popping up, and then they like, what happened to you? What happened to you? And he's, oh yeah, they tried to jump me. They over there jumping us saying F Dallas and all this, and then that's when it changed because it wasn't just about them skipping in line. It turned into F Dallas and all this and all that, and so they didn't know how Madison was rolling. Madison, we was I want to say we was like 35 deep. It wasn't that much. We was enough for a school bus. So as we're going around hearing the story, it was one of those, and that's that dude right there. So the Madison people started just hitting anybody that looked like they were associated with Doward. If I don't know if it's Doward High. I just remember somebody yelling out Doward when they thought they was winning because, like I said, we were scattered and they was as a school. So when he was like, "That's them right there," we heard Doward, and then they started fighting. Now it's like at this point it's like 10 people from Madison fighting this school. And as people are running in Six Flags, because now it's a thing. You got 10 kids in the whole school fighting against each other in the middle of the I forget where we was at, but in the middle of the way. Watch out, Jack. So anyway, y'all enjoying this story? I'm not trying to tell a long story, but I'm talking about fighting, passion, fighting for what you love and what you like. It's just that this is a good story that talks about why I don't like fighting, why I'd rather box. You know what I'm saying? So, the Doward people thought they were winning, so they was yelling Doward and this, that, and the other. And as they're saying that, more and more Madison people started coming. And when I tell you, if you've ever seen a situation where a crowd of people is fighting and the whole crowd is moving this way, you can see somebody's losing when whoever this is winning. Then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, man! It was so many people getting knocked out from people from Madison just knocking people out. And I remember standing right in the middle of the entire thing. And every time I turned around, on the floor. And I stood there with my, it's probably 3 people that remember this story. I stood there with my knuckles balled like, whoever, and there was so many people that were just getting knocked out. I didn't have to fight anybody, but for like 25 minutes, I was a gangster. I was a G, and then somebody knocked a dude out of his shoes. And I don't know where that shoe is, but that shoe came on the bus. We had a pen and everybody was signing signing the shoe. And I mean, when I say everybody was fighting, I had to have been the only person besides another dude that was in a lower grade. I'm not going to say his name because he was walking with the chaperone at that time. He wasn't a senior, but he was invited on the trip. Everybody was fighting except for me. So when I got the shoe, they were like, put that shoe down. You didn't hit nobody. And I was like, yeah, but I helped somebody up. I was like the army medic. I was, get up. Get up. I was holding people while they were swinging and stuff. And it was a horrible situation. But I laugh at it today, But no, I don't like fighting. But for passion purpose, move, Jack. I will fight. I fight for what I believe in. I fight for when something is uneven and it needs to be odd, to say the least. I fight for love. I fight for things that I truly feel. Since fighting is so physical, I have to fight for something that I feel. If I don't necessarily feel a way about it, then I won't fight too much, or my fight won't be as ferocious as it could be. But if I really feel for it, man, that fight is a fight. And like I said, there's no rule in the fight, so don't hurt or hurt my kids, and then expect for me to be a certain mindset. How many of y'all like that? Because when you hurt something, because when you hurt something like that, there is no rule in that fight. Don't you can say something about my mama, but don't touch my mama. If you touch my mama, then that means we got to go to a whole nother place. We got to fight a whole nother way. It's like I will fight for things that I believe and have a feeling in. If I see you getting done wrong at work, and I've noticed that, whether it's racial, whether it's a male chauvinistic type of situation, or sexual harassment, I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to be your Superman, meaning I'm not going to jump out in front and be like, hi, hey, you can't do that. No, I'm going to address it with you first and be like, hey, this person that's kind of inappropriate or whatever that they're doing. They shouldn't be doing that. And if you agree, we can come together and I'll help you fight. But no, I'm not now. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be nobody's Superman. I've seen people get knocked out. And that's the thing. It's the knockout. Man, it's getting knocked out. That's if you ever want to know my worst fear in the world, I don't care about being embarrassed. I don't care too much about the dark and aliens and all this and all that. That's fearful and all that. But my worst fear in the world is getting knocked out. I've passed out before. Just passed out for either being exhausted or whatever. And that's a horrible feeling. Imagine, because when you pass out, you don't really feel nothing except for like the lightheadedness, and then you bow, you drop. When you get knocked out, you feel something hard, and then you get knocked out, and then you probably gonna hit the ground and hit something else hard. So when you wake up, you're gonna be like, you're going, what happened? What happened? And everybody got their funk, man. I ain't got time for that. But yeah, passion, I fight for what I'm passionate about. You should too. You should have a little bit of fight for something that you feel. You ain't gotta fight for everything. Some things ain't worth fighting for. Some things you just gotta take a loss in. But there are some things that if you're truly passionate about and if you truly feel it, you should fight for it. You really should. All right, that's good, right? And see, that's good. That's not even an hour. That's 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to say I appreciate whoever it is that's watching this. We're at episode number 7. We are on our way to 1 million. I don't know how many of these we're going to do. But, I know at some point, it's going to start, it's going to do it. I don't know what the it is, but at some point it's going to do it. And I just hope that whoever you are alone to ride when it do it. All right. Whenever this podcast do the it, whatever the it is that it's meant to do by way of the universe, not by way of me and my ambition, because I could want it to be on TV, big screen, stage, or whatever. But no, the whenever it does whatever it's meant to do, that it's gonna do, I just hope that y'all are still here for the ride. And I can be like, man, y'all were there when we was at episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So again, I hope you took away something from this podcast. This is the host, John C. Oddly Even podcast, airing every Wednesday at some point. Yes, all the beats you hear are mine in the background and in between cuts. It is brought to you by Total Right and Care. Please, if you don't have any type of insurance, please get with my man. When I say he can get you some insurance no matter what situation you're on and no matter what's going on, please hit him up. The commercial is in the podcast. It was earlier. But yeah, Total Right and Care. And then we got other vendors coming and other advertisements coming as well. But all in all, man, have a great day. Have a great evening. You got the rest of the week to make it good. This is Oddly Even podcast, counterbalancing to the normalcy. And at the end of the day, we just talking. All right? Peace. Oh, I should have done like this. Peace. Is it peace? Or is it two? All right. See y'all.